Just a little bit hold on. There is some internet issue, so it's getting a little slower.
No problem. When you are live, we can start.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our fourth knowledge session of Pradhan 2024. On behalf of National Institute of Urban Affairs, the Youth Wing, UN Habitat, and Rohini Nilankani Philanthropy and Frederick Norman Foundation, I would like to welcome all our participants, different colleges, as well as our speakers for today's knowledge session. As you know, this year Pradhan 2024 themes focuses on citizen participation and youth participation specifically. We have designed this knowledge session to give you some insights upon youth participation in urban dynamics through e-platforms. I believe previous knowledge session gave you a lot of understanding about what is municipal corporations, what are municipalities, their dynamics, roles of elected representative, administration. Then we moved on to the municipal finance part, जहाँ पे हमने revenue, income, expenditure, very minute details about the budget we discussed. And now move forward about the citizen participation in urban planning in the last knowledge session. Today's knowledge session will give you a context about youth participation, specifically through e-platforms. So with this context, I will now hand it over to my colleague Pushkar to introduce the panelists and then start the knowledge session. Pushkar, over to you.
Thank you, Viral. Good evening, everyone. This is Pushkar Kedia, a fellow of Praja Foundation, extends my warm welcome to you all in today's knowledge session centered at promoting youth participation in urban dynamics through e-platforms under the arena of Prajatantra 2024, the National Youth Festival. We are honored to host the distinguished panel of experts who have dedicated their time and energy over the years in the field of urban governance and its nuances. We are delighted to host our guest speaker, Lovesh Sharma sir, who is the head of Urban Youth Unit at the National Institute of Urban Affairs. He is also the sector lead for water and urban infrastructure at NIUA. Sir has 13 years plus of experience as a development expert and urban infrastructure planning architect and academician in India and UAE. His areas of expertise include city master planning, infrastructure services including urban water supply, urban waste management, blue-green infrastructure. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We also extend our warm welcome to Dr. Arpita Banerjee as the moderator of the session, who is associated with National Institute of Urban Affairs as the Senior Research Fellow. Ma'am has completed her PhD from the Center for the Study of Research Regional Development, Jawaharlal Nehru University in 2013. A social geographer by training, her research interest revolves around the issues of gender, migration, labor market, adolescents, and urban India. Thank you for registering your presence, ma'am. This completes our esteemed panel, which will be sharing their insights, experiences, and learnings on urban governance. So without further delay, let's dive into this infotaining session. And for this, I hand over the stage of the moderator to the moderator to carry things forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Pushkar. Thank you so much. It is my pleasure to be a part of this platform. Today's topic is very interesting, and it is also an area where I could easily connect. I have worked for quite a long time. So while coming to this concept of youths, so it is that in a country like India, the share or a population of youth is quite heavy. If we go to 4 years back, by 2020, it is like 25.8 crore of our country's population are youths, that is in the age group of 15 to 24 years, which roughly comprises 15.6% of the population. So it is quite a huge chunk, and in the another coming 20 years, it will maintain roughly the same proportion. Its proportion will be around 14.3%. If we think that the proportion is small, but given this proportion in a huge country like India, the number is quite huge. And so, there is a need to think about this demographic dividend, to have specific, to understand about the areas of education, there are areas of skill building, in terms of having reforms, in terms of having proper tailor-made schemes and entitlements for them, so that they are in a proper track, because obviously this youth population will successively take up the adult population in coming generation. Given this fact that we need to work on the youth, we need to think about the youth. Not only that, it is not that the youth should something take as given. They are not, if I say that youth, we should have schemes, reforms, education for youths, it is something like that we are imposing something on them, but it shouldn't be like that. The youth should be seen as not as a mere recipients of these schemes, entitlements, but they have an active role to play. They can come up with their own issues, their needs, starting from some community level platforms to different above platforms, where they can highlight their own specific demands, needs. And this can only happen if they participate successfully and effectively, which means that they should, in a platform, for example, at the ULB level platforms, or in any other at the community, in their own street or in their own lens, they should not participate and listen, but they should also speak. They should also highlight their ideas. This will help them, to transform their role as a mere recipients to something as a decision maker, in their putting the things for the ULB level planning or something, their needs to the people, so that their needs, their issues can be heard. So given this basic, basic premises, where the participation is a very important aspect for the youth, okay, I delve over to this, the youth participation, especially in the context of urban areas. And there we have our speaker, Mr. Lavlesh Sharma, who will help us to walk through this journey, who will give us very important insights about youths in urban areas, their roles, and how they can act as instruments of change, in bringing change in the country as well, in a very positive and vibrant way. So thank you so much once again. Over to you, Mr. Sharma, to continue the session.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Arpita, to set the context. It's a really very bang on the point scenario you have built here, on which we can discuss it further. Before I go further, thank you, Aviral. Thank you, Prajatantra, once again, to keep us young through your Prajatantra seasons every year, because it is one good opportunity for us as well to talk to the youth of the country, to the young minds of the country. And we are glad that we are small but part of the Prajatantra this year as well. And thanks, Pushkar, for introducing us. आज का जो discussion है, what we are discussing today is youth participation in urban dynamics, urban and its dynamics, and how youth can play a participatory role. कैसे उसका part हो सकता है, and how come there are many ways of getting it done. Participation of youth can be done or can be taken care of at urban development in a very dynamic way. Today, we are specifically talking about how the different e-platforms can be useful to ensure youth participation and their role in urban development in the country. So what I'll do, I have a few slides. I'll quickly pull out those slides and I'll take you through the journey of possible ways of getting it done in Indian context. If my slides are visible here. Yeah.
Yes, Manish.
Great. I see some notifications again and again. No problem. So as we are going to discuss how youth and its participation can be ensured and can be used well in urban dynamics, and how e-platforms can play a vital role in this regard. I'll take you through my idea, our thought in this regard, in this particular section. As Dr. Arpita already has mentioned that we are quite a young country. What you see out here is exactly what she mentioned. And if you see across the states in country, it's 25 plus percentage of population across the country. You know, it's just, and it's well spread across. It's just not one state, Kerala or Maharashtra or any other state. It's very much uniform across the country. We have really good a dividend which is falling in a particular age band, and that's a good news for country. And when we are a huge country of 120 130 plus crores, and this 20-25% is a good number. And in coming 10 20 25 30 years from now, when we are planning for some achievements to be done in next 2 decades, this particular group will grow and will hold the key position. ये लोग हैं जो निर्धारित करेंगे अगले 20 साल में भारत की दशा और गति क्या रहेगी। तो आज जो ये 20 से 25% यूथ और यंग माइंड है, इन पर इन्वेस्ट किया जाए, इनको अगर फोर फ्रंट पे लाया जाए, इनके ऊपर अगर जिम्मेदारी सौंपी जाए, तो भारत जो आगे आने वाले 20 सालों में प्लान कर रहा है, उसमें हम सफल हो सकते हैं। So this is why we are precisely talking about youth and its participation in urban development country. National Institute of Urban Affairs, as you might be aware of, for the friends who are very first time hearing this name, we are a body or a think tank, widely considered as a think tank of Urban Development Ministry, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, शहरी विकास मंत्रालय, शहरी विकास मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार. So we do very various things across urban sector in the country. We participate in various plans and program formulation. NIUA के अंदर एक distinct section emerge हुआ last 1.5 year पहले, urban youth unit, and where we also from the Ministry of Housing side, from urban development side, we want to explore the possibilities of getting development done in cities from the lens of youth and utilizing youth or exercising youth potential in urban development as well. So at NIUA, at Urban Youth Unit, the target is to strengthen the young minds and provide them platform to take a leap, not to fly high. I mean, nurturing young minds so that we can bring youth, जो युवा शक्ति है, उसको फोर फ्रंट पर ला पाए एट अर्बन डेवलपमेंट में, अर्बन डायनेमिक्स में किस तरह से वो चेंज मेकर हो सकते हैं. दैट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल विच अर्बन यूथ यूनिट एट NIUA टारगेट्स फॉर. अगर आप इकोसिस्टम देखेंगे भारत के बाकी सभी मिनिस्ट्री, देयर आर मेनी मिनिस्ट्रीज विच works and which controls and which works together for urban development or the country's development. हर मंत्रालय में, हर मिनिस्ट्री में कोई ना कोई ऐसी विंग्स हैं जो यूथ को कैप्चर करके या यूथ पर टारगेट करके और यूथ को इन्वॉल्व करके अपने मिनिस्ट्री के डेवलपमेंट टारगेट्स में हेल्प लेते हैं और हेल्प करते हैं यूथ की. इफ यू सी डिफेंस में NCC है, रूरल में निर्माण भारत है. Urban Youth Unit is one good example under Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Education Ministry has their own aspects, and youth affairs, so उनका पूरा काम ही youth के around है, and health and family. So there are many avenues across the many ministries जहाँ पर youth related work और youth as a change maker को consider करके plans and programs बनाए गए हैं. And what we target here as youth as an instrument, youth as an instrument, youth development, youth upliftment, youth skill development is good. We also target for that, but right now at National Institute of Urban Affairs, at Youth Unit here, we target youth as an instrument of change, instrument for the change. So urban development, urban dynamics जो country की है, उसमें youth को किस तरह से हम इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं डिसीजन मेकिंग में, हाउ यूथ कैन कम फॉरवर्ड एंड पुट देयर बेस्ट फुट फॉरवर्ड so that the decision making at urban development scale remains urban youth sensitive or youth sensitive precisely. So that's the target we aim for at Urban Youth Unit, and encouraging, enlightening and empowering youth so that they can be a part and parcel of the change or the decisions taken. National Urban Youth Policy. National Youth Policy is again one of the recent policies developed by National or Ministry of Youth and Sports, which is a change, which is going to be a game changer, because around youth there were many things, but it was not a core 1 point reference where all the ministries, all the departments, cities, and other agencies can refer it to. So now the urban youth policy, the national youth policy, is 1 point document which deals with various urban development parts as well as youth development policies. So national youth policy we also follow religiously, and we are also targeting our aims and objectives across. We are almost everywhere in terms of the research, in terms of the capacity building, networking, advocacy, innovation, and national building. So in terms of the innovation, advocacy, and capacity building, as well as research, e-platforms are going to be very, very important and instrumental in terms of the dissemination of knowledge or exchange of the ideas. So for youth, urban development, cohesion, e-platforms across these 6 buckets would remain important. We'll come to that in a while. Targeting the dynamics of urban development. When India is eyeing, when the Prime Minister upfront is targeting, the country is looking forward for a developed India, Viksit Bharat. We are a developing country as of now. In coming 2023, 25 years, if we are targeting that India should move into a developed country stage, there is lot of onus which is to be taken by youth. युवा को बहुत ज्यादा चीजों में आगे बढ़ के आना होगा. हमको एज ए पॉलिसी डेवलपमेंट और सेक्टर यूथ को इन्वॉल्व करना पड़ेगा और उसको आगे लाके, जिससे कि अगले 10 और 20 साल में जो यूथ जो होगा, जो चेंज मेकर होगा, वही भारत होगा. सो उनको आज की डेट में इट्स राइट टाइम टू लीवरेज अपॉन द यूथ एंड इट्स पोटेंशियल. जब हम बात कर रहे हैं कि भारत विकसित भारत होगा, इंडिया डेवलप्ड कंट्री in 2047, lot many work which are to be done. When you look into the developed countries, you look in the European countries, what all you see out there, you can imagine that in India, when we consider ourselves to be developed in coming times, so all kind of infrastructure, all kind of amenities, all kind of livability aspects of the urban areas are to be achieved. So various ministries, various departments, various agencies will work for getting these in place so that the infrastructure can be improved to that scale, so that we can call ourselves developed, or amenities or the conditions of urban areas उस स्तर पर पहुंच पाए जब हम अपने आप को भारत को विकसित भारत कह पाए. But there is one important section which is less addressed or less attempted so far, is the civic sense. When we look into the developed countries, taking some examples from European countries, 1, 2, 3 pointers what you see here are already there, will be there. But then one important point, which is civic sense and the sense of nationality, which is yet to be improved to another level. You know, civic sense is something which also makes a country a developed country very sensitive. Take the example of Japan. You know, being a developed country, it's just not the infrastructure about Japan we can vouch or talk about. There is a very good, strong civic sense, or the ownership of the national things are very important. So that particular part can be ensured through various instruments, and youth, nothing can be better than youth. We can exercise with, and we can work with to get the civic sense in place in coming times, or getting it improved. I'm not saying it's not there, but there is a scope to get it improved in coming times in terms of the targets for Viksit Bharat. So there is a lot of work being done around these targets. There's a lot of work which we do with the United Nations. There are lot many plans and programs under the climate change and youth. Jan Bhagidari is a very like Prajatantra is very popular among the youth and the urban development sector. Jan Bhagidari is one more very well-known factor where the people participation has been ensured across the national missions. Life is another one good initiative for the Life for Environment. Various agencies like us, Prajatantra, UNICEF, and other. There are many people who are involved, and this life thing is getting really its targets achieved very fast. U20, Y20, and all these things which has been talk of the town since last 1.5 years, Viksit Bharat Abhiyan, what I just mentioned, and SDGs and role of youth. So there are many plans and programs across which are in pipeline, through which the country as well as at the international scale, India is trying to put our best attempt forward to get youth involved in getting the urban dynamics in right place. This was the introduction, the importance in terms of the youth's importance and how India is really looking forward to leverage upon the potential of youth and the innovative ideas, innovative solutions, and dynamics of the youth energy in country, and how it can make can play a vital role. It can be an important cog in the wheel of urban development of the future of India. Now in the second section, what I'll take you to the e-platforms developed in terms of the urban development, and we'll also eye upon how youth can come in to use these platforms better. So these platforms are being developed by Ministry of Housing, Government of India, in association with NIU and other partners. And these platforms are being developed and communicated and being utilized by cities and urban centers and urban development sector in the country, using youth in between, so that youth is also coming up front as an important instrument. So NUDM, National Urban Development Digital Mission and National Urban Digital Mission is a very important mission which Ministry of Housing has launched recently in 2021, and it is really going to be is a hit really, because it is really helping cities and the urban development sector to a larger extent, even beyond the imagination, because it has fastened the process of interaction, sharing of the work, data transmission, and handholding from one sector to another sector, one city to another city, and state to state. This urban digital mission has been a change maker so far, and this also targets not only cities or the urban development sector to be part and parcel of it, but also very interestingly, very efficiently, citizens' role in this particular digital world. So through digital platform, there are various platforms. I'll come to that separately. Citizens are well connected to the cities, ULBs, state administration plans, policy, and guidelines, which has been monitored by different agencies. So citizens are well connected through various platforms developed under NUDM. There is a very interesting dashboard which has been instrumental in the progress and the success of NUDM is Ummeed. Its overview at national level at urban monitoring for efficient and effective decision making. So this platform is just not sharing of the data, handholding of the stakeholder, but more importantly, on the top of it, it is monitoring the efficiencies and effectiveness of the decisions taken across the plans, may it be SBM, may it be smart cities. Ummeed gets the right picture upfront so that decisions can be taken faster. So you need not to travel to a particular city or state. We get through NUDM the right data and right situation, and then decisions can be taken. And various toolkits and support systems has been developed under this. Yes, and NUDM has a very clear-cut vision. It wants to ensure the ease of living for citizens by creating a national urban digital ecosystem. However, it also targets there has to be a shared digital infra. What all a city in Lucknow is doing should be very clearly visible and accessible to city down south, and vice versa. So this platform is a web. It's nothing but an improved IoT, where cities are well connected through a national urban platform, digital platform, and this whole ecosystem is helpful for them to utilize the knowledge and the infrastructure possibilities available. And this is spread. It is just not one section or one region of the city. It is well spread across 28 states so far, and across the 28 state ULBs are well connected. So this is just not for urban managers, but it is for citizens, governments at state and local level, ULBs, administrators, startups, where youth comes very interestingly, and there are many startups which directly deals with their ideas. They bring their ideas to the ULB put it on the NUTM platform, and the state and national government can reflect upon. So we can connect the startup idea to a funding agency, a bilateral funding agency, or any possible funding under any of the missions at a state or national level. So those startups, researchers, and the employees at ULB level can also get benefited. It's a multi-directional where anybody from any direction can come to the platform, and then they'll get a breakthrough or connection built with the right stakeholders. So these are some of the examples. This platform is also helping ULBs to get their taxes done properly, grievances addressed timely, and services being delivered properly. So from birth and death certificate to the water sewage charges and taxes to the property taxes and so on and so forth, everything it is well accommodated at this platform. And city to city, state to state, they choose and pick their priority areas, and it then connects them to right platforms and the players across the country. And Upayog, as I mentioned, in spite of just delivering and monitoring, it also Upayog NUTM also provides a very strong platform for the attempting the query and resolving them. So under the urban platform for the delivery of online governance and identifying the grievances, the condition in effective delivery, governance is core of it. And under this Upayog platform, there are different type of applications being done. Like Swachh Bharat application is one small part of it. You can find the litter at this. If you find the litter at the corner of the street, you just go to the platform, geotag it, and quickly, I'm just giving an example, quickly ULB will get activated, right person, right team will reach to the location. And these application-based e-platforms really connect citizens for various purposes, for various reasons, with the government at city, state, and national level. So you need not to tweet and let the minister tagged in that. No, that's not required anymore. Your grievance or suggestion or your requirement can be can directly reach to different stakeholder or the governance systems through Upayog platform. So this digital public infrastructure platform is really a boon in terms of the citizens' need and microservices to be done at city scale. So I'll skip these parts because these are the activities and parts of the processes which make cities more livable, more safe, and data across the services, across the plans and projects being spreaded across. It's a separate web of scheme of things, Internet of Things, where the government and the communities and the stakeholders and the funding agencies and service providers, all of them are well connected to each other. So it really fastens the process of addressing various queries and grievances. So this is how it works. There are chat boxes, there are controls, there are different type of dashboards, and so on and so forth. This is how this NUTM link works. What I'll do at the end of it, I'll share the link of NUTM so that I'm just taking you through quickly the whole idea of NUTM, but you can really go deep dive into it and look into the NUTM platform in your city. Identify a problem which you want to highlight, and then go to NUTM platform, find your way of reaching to it. And I think being youth, you are well equipped, and we are well aware of using these platforms, digital platforms, e-platforms effectively. And I think that would be really interesting and helpful for you to understand the NUTM platform. So there are services. These are some of the examples of property tax and other things which city officers like most. There are multiple things which as a citizen you also like most. And similarly, this Ummid Foundation, Ummid platform, urban monitoring for efficient and effective decision making. It really helps city managers depending upon the reflections received from the citizens, reflections received from the state government or the funding agencies or NGOs like us, decisions can be taken faster, and the decision taken by a particular city or state is quite visible, and the idea behind the rationale behind the decision taken is quite visible and useful to the other city or neighboring state. So this platform gives you a clear picture online digitally, so that other cities can also take a call on it. So that's very useful platform under NUTM, and it helps cities for procurement, and it brings transparency to it, and it's with a logic, data driven decision making. It's just not a decision making under the politics of planning, but yeah, ऐसा भी होता है कि डेटा के सपोर्ट से now cities can take a decision. अब cities के पास एक लॉजिक है, एक डेटा का सेट है, जिसके आधार पे वो डिसीजन ले सकते हैं कि कहाँ पर क्या चीज आनी चाहिए और कब आनी चाहिए. सो ये NUTM का हमारा एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन मैं देना चाहता था आपको. दिस इज वन वेरी यूजफुल ऑनलाइन ई प्लेटफॉर्म where the citizens, where the youth and the city administration together can interact and take things which a city's development needs, which the city development needs in coming times or immediately needs, those decisions can be taken. These are our social media platforms. You can take go through it and can use and find them interesting. Similar quick platform I'll take you through, the National Urban Learning Platform, NULP. This is the platform where the Government of India in association with NIU. This platform is lighter mode में कहें तो ये एक learning YouTube platform है. You go to the particular section and find your area of interest, and you can find the courses, programs, modules under NULP, National Urban Learning Platform. यहाँ पर सारे गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज जो नॉलेज ब्रिंग कर रहे हैं, नॉलेज डेवलप कर रहे हैं, वहां पर आपको अपने इंटरेस्ट का प्रोग्राम, कोर्स, सर्टिफिकेशन, इस तरह के मॉड्यूल्स मिलेंगे. एंड आपको किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में नहीं जाना, आप इस प्लेटफॉर्म NULP पर आइए, अपने एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट का प्रोग्राम और कोर्स और डिप्लोमा कोर्स चूज करिए, मॉड्यूल चूज करिए अपने पेस के साथ. सबसे अच्छी बात है कि इट्स नॉट बाइंडिंग यू टू डू इट इन अ डे और 2 और अ वीक और मंथ. You can go through the program or the courses on your own pace. Once you are done, you will go into a assessment process, and then you will get a certificate. So National Urban Platform has been a very यूजफुल प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर द यूथ. देश के युवाओं के लिए, छात्रों के लिए, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट प्लेटफॉर्म है, जहां पर सेल्फ पेस पर आप अपने नॉलेज को एनहेंस कर सकते हैं. पीयर टू पीयर लर्निंग, यू कैन ऑल्सो गेट कनेक्टेड टू द एक्सपर्ट्स थ्रू दिस प्लेटफॉर्म, एंड इट्स online. It's national wide program from the ministry. There is no fees into it, there is no charge for it, and they are really interesting program across the sectors, across the domains of urban development. Please explore this. NULP पर जाइए, वहां पर आपको बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स मिलेंगे जो आपके लिए इंटरेस्टिंग होंगे. और स्टेक होल्डर्स में एवरीबडी इज देयर, गवर्नमेंट बॉडीज, इंडस्ट्री एस्पेक्ट्स आर देयर, academia is very much there, and urban practices. So all sort of knowledge has been brought to this platform. यहाँ पर आके आप इसका फायदा उठा सकते हैं. अक्रॉस द कंट्री स्टेट वाइज एंगेजमेंट हो रहे हैं, एंड दिस सर्टिफिकेट इज बीन डिलीवर्ड और गिवन टू द पार्टिसिपेंट ऑनलाइन. तो आपको लास्ट में भारत सरकार की तरफ से, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हाउसिंग की तरफ से, या जिस भी मिनिस्ट्री ने वो फ्लोट किया है उसकी तरफ से आपको एक सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम भी मिलेगा, एंड इट इज रियली अ हिट. देयर इज नो डर्थ ऑफ द कंटेंट. हर सेक्टर का, जिस सेक्टर को आप उठाइएगा उसके अंतर्गत आपको बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स एंड कोर्सेज मिलेंगे. सो प्लीज, एंड दिस इज प्रिसाइजली फॉर यंग एंड यूथ पीपल, बिकॉज जो प्रैक्टिशनर्स हैं वो अपने नॉलेज ऑलरेडी मेजरली गेन कर चुके हैं. सो बीइंग इन स्कूल, यूनिवर्सिटी, कॉलेज स्टेज, it is open to you. It is your own choice which direction you want to learn. अभी किसी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम के लिए भी पढ़ना है तो there is enough space. If you want to explore your career in a particular direction, आपको जाके उस पर्टिकुलर कोर्स को करने की जगह पर आप अपना नॉलेज यहाँ एनहेंस कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज गुड, वन गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर यूथ ऑफ द कंट्री टू गेट कनेक्टेड टू urban reforms and urban dynamic decisions through these e-platforms. So we every time upgrade it. 1, 2, and 3 NULP 3 is done. So we always try to facilitate and make it little more simple and easy. And we also want to add more sectors and domains in under NULP programs. So इस पर भी आप जाइए. आई सजेस्ट, हमारे बहुत सारे पार्टनर्स हैं जो हमारे साथ इस नॉलेज को डेवलप करके यहाँ पर डिसेमिनेट करने में हमारी हेल्प करते हैं. देयर आर मेनी गवर्नमेंट एंड प्राइवेट and agencies, and you can go through nulp.niu.org, find some relevant courses, and through this e-platform, you will get a good insight of urban dynamic development process. You will get connected to the many experts, peers across the sectors, and this will really help you to get things done digitally, and you'll get some insight. In the last section, some more platforms NIU has been doing. NIU has developed precisely some platforms where as a youth, sorry for this spelling mistake out here, as a youth, you can come forward, and your dynamic role can be really instrumental in urban development at the country. Various platforms, Urban Youth Unit, with various partners across the country, India and otherwise. We are creating various platforms. UVCHR is one dialogue where you can come and share your idea. You can speak about the problems in urban neighborhoods, your opinion about the urban development. As a youth, what exactly is the challenge you face, or what is your idea? You can come out with young with UVCHR. Yuva Sangra is a compilation of the thoughts received through UVCHR and through different articles, blogs, what you think about urban in urban context. And Young Munch is another platform where we bring a lot of youth, like Prajatantra is our largest scale Young Munch. We at an Urban Youth Unit also create various platforms where youth can come forward and share their ideas and things. Similarly, very interestingly, we also float a competition for youth. This is again very interesting, a very popular competition. We do it with Namami Gange National Mission for Clean Ganga, which is part of the Ministry of Jal Shakti. So NMCG or Namami Gange and NIU together float this competition every year. We are done with 4 seasons. Now we are heading towards season 5, and the competition is named as Reimagining the Urban Rivers. तो व्हाट ऑल रिसर्च जो आप अपने कॉलेज के फाइनल ईयर में जो आप रिसर्च करते हैं, जो थीसिस करते हैं, या जो प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, अगर आप रिवर के अराउंड कुछ काम करना चाहते हैं गिवन थीम्स के आधार पर, तो आप अपनी एंट्री सबमिट करिए. देयर आर लॉट मैनी perks, a lot many benefits of getting yourself selected. आप किसी भी प्रोग्राम से हो सकते हैं, किसी भी डिसिप्लिन से हो सकते हैं, किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी से हो सकते हैं, स्कूल से हो सकते हैं. दोनों कैटेगरी अर्बन अंडर ग्रेजुएट एंड पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट में 20 स्टूडेंट्स वी सेलेक्ट, 20 एंट्रीज वी सेलेक्ट एवरी ईयर, and every student is given upfront on given a scholarship of 50,000 from our side to pursue the research. ऐसा नहीं आप प्रोजेक्ट कर लेंगे उसके बाद हम कंपटीशन में आपको कंसिडर करेंगे. आपको जो प्रोजेक्ट अपने स्कूल में या कॉलेज में करना है, आप अगर रिवर के अराउंड करना चाहते हैं तो अपनी एंट्री भेजिए. सीजन 5 इज अराउंड द कॉर्नर. दिस इज द ओल्डर पोस्टर. इन 2.5 or 3 weeks we are going to launch season 5. If you are, but whichever program you are from, don't worry. मतलब हमारे पास सारे तरह के प्रोग्राम, डॉक्टरेट से लेके मेडिसिन से लेके एंथ्रोपोलॉजी तक, आर्किटेक्चर से प्लानिंग, सिविल, ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री हमको एंट्रीज मिलती हैं. एंड इट्स रियली अ वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर यू. अगर आप रिवर और वाटर के अराउंड काम करना चाहते हैं, प्लीज जॉइन अस. And this is my initial. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. I think थोड़ा यूजफुल रहा होगा कहाँ और कैसे यूथ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट में ई प्लेटफॉर्म्स का अच्छा प्रयोग कर सकता है और अपना योगदान दे सकता है और भागीदारी कर सकता है भारत के विकसित भारत के सपने को पूरा होने में. So this is my email ID. You can reach out to me or Dr. Arpita. Both of us would love to be connected with you if required for further discussions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lavlesh and Arpita. I would request Arpita to start the session for question answer round. If you have, Arpita, anything, then we can request our participant also to raise their questions in the chat box, as well as if they want to, they can raise their hand, we can unmute. Over to you, Arpita.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. That is a wonderful session. I am enriched, and I hope all the participants who are listening to you, they also hold a similar view. Just one thing which really intrigues me about this, different the platforms that NIUA is also making it, also coming up, especially the last one. So I would be happy if we can circulate this Namami Gange and NIUA, the joint collaboration between them. Okay, so maybe if we can circulate it widely, I hope that we may receive better responses from them. Okay, and also if you can share the link, or so that as you were saying that after 2 to 5 weeks, okay, the it will be coming up. So even I am also requesting the participants that you put an eye on the NIUA website, because this is something really you can participate, you can do cross learnings from the different peers or different competitors also. From them, it's a platform. This is one thing which I'm really also myself is also very excited to look forward for it. And one thing for which I need Mr. Sharma's further insight, that he said that NIU has come up with different e-platforms like e-Vichar and everything. Sir, so if you could give a detailed insight on this, at what levels these platforms operate, what are the things that for the youths they can come up with. So even I want to have a better insight on those.
Yeah, Dr. Rapta, very important question. So, the very first thing what you mentioned about the student thesis competition around urban rivers, what I just mentioned, we are going to launch the season 5, and Prajatantra is our partner into the dissemination and reaching out to the larger crowd. Last year also it was very useful. So we'll reach out to Prajatantra, and Prajatantra, once it is there with the central hub, it will go to all the Prajatantra followers and the students. So I think we'll request to Prajatantra and the colleagues out there, once it is launched, we'll disseminate it to the Prajatantra ecosystem as well. Second, under the Urban Youth Unit, as I mentioned, there are various platforms being created in terms of the youth dialogue, youth young munch is a platform where youth can come and share their ideas. And we are also taking it forward. So Young Munch, what I just mentioned, is a platform where the articles and blogs from youth is being called and collected and then synthesized, and then we create a sort of a knowledge product. At times it is a coffee book, at times it is a knowledge product, at times it is a a dossier of the suggestions or reflection received from the youth on different aspects, and then we take it to the different national or international platforms. So जो Young Munch के through जो we are gathering the informations from youth across the themes and the domains of urban development, we are synthesizing it and we are taking it to the World Urban Forum to be happen in November in Egypt. So we got a slot where the voice of youth from India for the reflections and the suggestions for the urban development in country and at international scale also going to be showcased, and vice versa. So there are various platforms which Urban Youth Unit at NIUA has been creating. I suggest all the young participants, fellows out here, to stay connected with us and Prajatantra. There are many things which we do around the clock across the year, which will be really useful for all of you.
Yes, that is exactly the point, because at the NIUA level we are launching different things, but it is meant for them. So they need to grab these opportunities, and they need to make their ideas, their identities visible through this group. Okay, so that they can take the maximum. I mean, they can reap the maximum from this kind of opportunities that we are trying to give them or trying to provide them. I would like to, yes, just hold on. So here certain questions are coming up in the chat box. Where we can take up one or two of those. So just let me. Just hold on. I'm just. Great session, sir. Okay, so there is a question from Zaka, if I'm reading the name correctly. How do we ensure the data privacy and data security on these e-platforms and easily accessible?
Yeah, so data privacy is not a problem, because what all data is being displayed or shared at these e-platforms from government side, it's a public domain data. So there is no privacy required, one, and there is no challenge because it is uploaded by government. There's a system which uploads the knowledge and the data and the information, which is first cross-checked. If once it is foolproof, then only it comes to the national platform. So there is no issue in terms of the privacy or the authenticity of the data for sure. Second, it is quite accessible because most of the time, what all platforms I could manage to share it with you today is free of cost. And the target is, it's like a newspaper. It's like a news at your television. The information is being shared for your good, as well as there is a grid from government side that once you are more informed, your participation in the government missions or getting them implemented at your city or neighborhood level would be more effective. So this is nothing but the capacity building in a way that sharing of the information with the citizens would be helpful for both the parties. Vis-a-vis, it is also a platform where cities are connected together, states are connected together, so they can exchange things. So now one secretary of a state A need not to call Secretary B of the another state. They have access to each other's work. So that is the beauty of these e-platforms at urban scale.
Yes, Apita, I have one question for Lovelace. So basically, Lovelace, this year, Prayatan is focusing on citizen participation platforms that we can facilitate in at the city government level. So all the participants will have to prepare their respective policies for their respective cities on how they ensure citizen participation at all level, whether it's a budgetary preparation, whether it's urban planning, whether it's about taking small decisions in their respective wards or cities. So both of you, if you have any suggestions for our participants, what are the components they can add? What are the platforms they can refer? What are the case studies that they can refer? Also, one major thing, what are the roadblocks that they can answer specifically? So if they have to rethink about the citizen participation forums at this government level, do you have any suggestion for them?
Yeah, Dr. Arpita, we want to address this.
Yes, this is something very interesting, and just let me just share something with you that in while working with adolescents in the rural areas that I've worked with, so what do that they try to incorporate their issues in the annual planning of the Gram Panchayat. Okay, so what has happened is that the adolescents used to come together. They used to have at the village or at the community level, they used to come up with their issues. Okay, issues that are prevalent at the community level. Okay, so then they used to prioritize those issues, and with the issues they used to go to the panchayat pradhan or something like that. See, these are the issues. Maybe it kind of some health issues, maybe there can be a large number of school dropout, may be prevalent at that time period. So so here also, when you are saying that these youths have to be a part of this planning process, okay, so that their issues can be incorporated at the ULB level. Because unless, and what I understand, based on my understanding, unless until your issues doesn't get added at the government level, they largely remain unaddressed, because you need to have a stakeholder to implement those. Otherwise, you are raising issues, but it has to be incorporated somewhere. It has to be anchored, and anchoring at to the government level, okay, is the best thing they can do. So trying to address your question, so it's like, if the participants have to make plans at the governance level, at the ULB level, they should be well aware what are the kind of issues, challenges that these people are facing in their areas. Okay, so starting from there, then they can can like prioritize their issues, and then they can pitch into the government. for this, I would say this will not take this may not happen in a day. There has to be a continuous interface between the youths as well as with the decision making bodies. One thing is that if there is if there is a ULB level meeting, something like that, uh, at the ULB level, where the youths can also be a part of that. In rural areas, it is called as village level child protection committee meeting. In the ward level also, there are similar provisions. Okay, but it is up to the age of the children, up to the age of the level. But maybe the youths can also use that ward level
Right.
child protection committee platform, or if there is something called ULB level meeting where they can
Right.
participate and they can put forward their ideas. This may help them to get anchored to the system level.
Right. So one thing that you have clearly pointed out, they have to think about in proposing the instruments towards citizen participation, like one of the examples that you have shared, and also ensure citizen participation converted into a stakeholder decision making so that it can be converted into actions in their respective cities. So that
Yes.
thank you for that. Lavlesh, if you have to add anything to please to Arpita's point, would you lovely?
No, I think she really mentioned all the major points. Youth need to be little vigilant. I mean, as an informed citizens, and by virtue of the applications we carry every time in our mobile, we have
Right.
access to lot many things which we even are not aware of, apart
Yes.
from the entertainment. So we can play a vital role. Youth can play a vital role in terms of the connections or the dissemination of information from both sides. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think if there are no more questions, we can conclude this. But at last, I have one small question for you. I think the first barrier is about the lack of information about who is responsible for what at the city level, because there are multiple agencies involved. There are multiple levels of government also involved, city government, there is state government, parastatical agencies involved. I think first, for all of us, it's important to identify who is responsible for what and then try to contact them for their respectives. So that with that, if you have last comments, Arpita or Lavlesh, for our participant, those who wanna start with the elimination round a day after tomorrow, we will have our elimination round starting from day after tomorrow. So if you have any last suggestions, any last comments for our participant to look after, please have your word, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a quick. It's a very, very, very important point you raised at last, Avril. I think that's important because what I suggest to the youth out here or the young minds out here, know your city well. Know who is dealing with the city's livability aspects in your case. बिजली कहाँ से आती है? बिजली का बिल किसको भरते हैं? We know the office, but we don't know the officer who is dealing with the things. अगर नाली खराब हो गई है, अगर पानी भर गया, तो मुझे किसको रिपोर्ट करना है? अगर आपको पता चलना
Right.
लगेगा, आपको अगर पानी की सप्लाई नहीं आ रहा है, तो वो कहाँ जाना पड़ता है? म्यूनिसिपल कमिश्नर कौन होता है? म्यूनिसिपल कमिश्नर कैसे बनते हैं? वो
Right.
कहाँ से आते हैं? क्या पढ़ाई करते हैं? हमको ना अभी 30 और 40s में जाके समझ में आता है, जब हम थोड़े से लिटिल ग्रे हेयर हो जाते हैं. लेकिन एट स्कूल लेवल आई थिंक नॉट मच ऑफ नॉलेज बीन डिसेमिनेटेड सो फार. मेरा यही सुझाव है सारे यूथ के साथ कि आप थोड़ा सा खोजिए कि कौन क्या करता है. then you will understand the ecosystem of the urban governance in your city, and then you will be in a right position, a better position to communicate or interact with the governance or government officers around in your city.
Perfect. That's an amazing suggestion. Know your city well. I think the first task for all the participating in Prajatantra is that, and list down who is responsible for what is the major elected representative, administrative officials, the different parastatal agencies who are responsible for all the services in their respective cities. That's it. That's a very great suggestion, lovely. Appreciate that. Arpita, if you have anything for our participants before we close.
Nothing much, but do your best. Okay, as Lavlesha said, know your city well, know your issues well. Okay, talk talk among the peers, come up with your ideas, okay, so that it can be done. This planning, this part can be taken care of.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Arpita and Lavlesh. On behalf of National of Urban Affairs, Youth Unit, UN Habitat, Praja, Naroni Lilankani Philanthropy, and Frederick Novan Foundation, we again thank all our participants, our guests, Arpita and Lavlesh, to be a part of this knowledge session. I believe today's session gave a lot of insights, a lot of pointers to prepare our participants for the elimination round as well as the upcoming semi-finale and the grand finale rounds. So thank you so much, Arpita, Lavlesh, for your time. I believe